Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Very warm welcome back. It's Paddy the Pieman Lusty here. Thanks for joining me again. It was nice to get my first video out to you all there, and I'm looking forward to your feedback if you've got anything you'd like to add to it. But pleasure having you back, and let's get back at it again. So we finished up on the last video just in my house, and very lucky we actually came across a fireman in our first few minutes of the last episode. Actually really good luck, and we've got ourselves kitted out quite well, and bizarrely there was a car next door as well, and we found the keys. So we've been quite lucky so far, but we'll see how we get on with this session. I thought for a minute with it being beta that the character disappeared. Thankfully it didn't. Someone did ask me why I took an alarm clock with me. Why I took an alarm clock with me is that without a wristwatch, you can't tell the time, and without telling the time, I know it sounds weird, but you can't really plan the day. You can't really plan what you're doing, and if you can't plan what you're doing, you just end up losing track of time. You get stuck in places you really don't want to get stuck in, and yeah, I think it's just really handy to have a clock. So the alarm clocks, if you ask me, bizarrely are more bountiful than wristwatches, which is very bizarre, but I suppose it is 1994. Ooh. Nice garage around there that we could stick our nose into. It would be pretty decent. I'd ideally like to find a hammer. A hammer definitely we need, and I'd also like some sort of axe. As an axeman, it's pretty important to have an axe, as you can imagine. Again, some people I see streaming, they don't actually close doors and things like that behind them. For me, very important again to make sure that you can always run out of the door anyway. Some people leave them open just to make their exit clear, but I like to make sure that nothing's going to follow me in. Nails, always good. This looks like there's been somebody here, so I'm just going to be a little bit cautious getting around this house to begin with, because there's definitely a few zombies that we don't want to run into behind a blind corner. Tweezers, beta blockers not so important. Definitely tweezers, you really do need a set of tweezers, very important. Just with glass and whatnot. It sounds like there is a lot of zombies around here. I'm gonna get a few of these. Weapons are just really handy to come by. With the update as well, they've actually become just that little bit harder to find. Wow. I think we actually might have avoided a biter. Bizarrely. Did I? Yes, I did. There you go. Thick skin. It really does what it says on the tin. That basically was game over there if I hadn't had thick skin on. I was really surprised. They must have came from upstairs rather annoyingly, but that scared the bejesus out of me. Really good start like that. You really don't want to lose. You really don't want to lose. Would have been really disappointing to lose this fireman start and this great position here really so early on. So I'm glad we avoided a really. Oh, managed to. were really lucky there. Just really can't emphasize that point enough. Do you know what? I think I just might leave that front door open. Just gonna grab some water here. Gonna go up here and see what is occurring, what all this noise is about. Yeah, they definitely came from up here, didn't they? Took a bit of a stomping. You think to yourself, if you're downstairs, what the hell is going on up there? But looks like we've got this place cleared out now. Really unusual to see that many zombies in one house. It was a lot. We just need to be cautious really going into these rooms now, because if you're wondering why I'm just taking these are just to add to my own place, just as a bit of a safe haven. And we spoke earlier about obviously using maps as a little bit more of a gauge of where to go looting and whatnot. Again, having pens, which a lot of people avoid, is just really important to have to I know it's early days here, we're picking up seeds, but oh yes, a shovel is always handy to have. Pen just basically to mark where you've been. Sounds like someone's having a bad day out there. Just mark where you've been and things like that. It's just really handy to keep track of, really. No surprises in here, thankfully. Razor, much needed. You can actually have this or scissors. I don't like my character growing too big a beard. Definitely not. Always handy to get them in quite early. You just can't get over how many zombies were in this house. I know, it's crazy. Could have been the end. So we head back over, get our house. Oh, that was nice of them. How awkward. Going to try and lure them away from the house as best I can. Just way too many of them just at the minute, just to tackle them a bit too early on. So always first port of call really with Project Zomboid is put yourself a bit of distance between them. Always the best course of action. Just put a bit of distance between you and them. We can tackle them another time, no problem at all. Yeah, it's just better to put a bit of distance in there, and especially this guy currently, he just needs to chill out. He does. It's just a little bit. He's just a little bit tired, sleepy, doesn't help, hungry, and he's got a heavy load as well, which is just recipe for disaster, really. When you're playing this game, speed, strength is pretty important. But yeah, we took them away from the place, but we are by no means in a pretty safe position here. There is a lot of them, and they are currently very close for comfort, which is never good. Yeah, that's always just an important first step, really, is getting a sheet on your windows, just making sure there's no light getting in and out. Which is good. We can get this light on now. So, did we pick up some food? We certainly did. We got a nice pineapple and a few bits and pieces here, which we're just going to dump off in these cupboards. I think we're packing too many frying pans. Way too many frying pans. We don't intend on building anything at the minute, so again, I'm just getting rid of anything out of my inventory here that I really don't need at the moment. It's just a bit of a unnecessary burden, really. Again, we don't need them, we don't need them. Actually forgot to move them earlier. So, Sod's Law, it's not the map we need. It's West Point. Which we will visit eventually. Somewhere down the very far line we will absolutely visit it, but a little bit early doors for that at the moment. Sometimes I do hear the music and I think, ah, that's someone knocking at the door. I swear they've done it deliberately, really, in this update. Oh, happy days! We have got a video to watch. I don't know what this is going to teach this time, but I'll speed through it anyway. Bit of foraging. Listen, all skill points, they come relevant at some stage in the game. And some people do avoid them, some, you know, don't use any particular ones. Some people completely avoid foraging, for example. Well, I try and get bases too, a bit of fishing, all that kind of stuff. Using all the tools to really survive. It's pretty important, really. So the main areas really that we're going to be in, we've got covered up, which is good. Which is very good. That's what we want to see. Is there anything we could potentially be doing now? It's got a bit late. She's tired. Awareness is going to be down, so I really don't want him out in the streets. Where there's levels like that, you're just not very with things, and you can quite easily just miss that one zombie in the corner. So, is there any of these that we didn't read? No, we got all them read. So, carpentry for me, one of the first things that I try and tackle in the game, really, is getting those early skills up. It just means you can construct decent, fortifications. You can get your boards up and your windows and whatnot. Just an important skill, really, to get really going quite early on. But it doesn't look like we're going to be able to tackle that too early, sadly. But we're in a really good spot here. We've got a lot of residential buildings around that we can absolutely raid for books, but we'll just bide our time here. But he's ridiculously tired. I think we'll wait till 10 o'clock and we'll send him off to land a nod. That should get us up at a really decent time. Morning. Let's just hope he survives the night. One thing I have noticed with build 41 is actually the speed now of sleeping. It's slowed down a little bit. It used to be quite quick, the 8, 9, 10 hour sleep, whatever you might get. The clock used to go quite quickly, get you back to it, but goes quite slowly. But I don't know what the inner workings of the game have slowed that down, but it just adds a little bit of time onto it. I'm sure it just takes a bit of optimization, really, from the development team. But let's say with the new day has to bring us. Hopefully we're not waking up to zombies knocking on our windows, or worst case scenario, in the house. No, we seem good at the minute, which is always a bonus. We're going to ease off the food for the moment anyway. Again, I don't think we're not going to be doing any building anytime soon, so I really don't need this saw with me. But definitely having a shovel with you is pretty important. The only downside to it really is I'd love to have it equipped at the same time, but you need to stick it on your back really, and having the lead pipe out, it's a great little weapon, the lead pipe, it really is. Let's see what we meet out here. A good little tactic actually is just drawing zombies into tree lines and whatnot. The tree lines themselves, they slow them down, they're hard to get out of, and it really helps you break up that that line of sight really with zombies, and it just gives you an opportunity to get away and drag them in a different direction. They're all still loitering around in the bushes by the sounds of it there, so I'll leave them for the minute. Just gives you a chance to break up the line of sight really with the individuals. But I'm actually considering, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't really. There's a car there that we got a key for in the last last episode, and they're really handy for drawing big crowds away, but likewise they're very good at drawing crowds in as well. Well, that's interesting to know that we've got a generator so nearby. Always good to know. I do play with the generator quite frequently actually. I find if you get a good early supply of fuel in from a gas station, it's actually quite a useful tool to have really. Can just help stave off a lot of faffing with making fires and things like that. It just helps you use your cooking facilities a lot more. Canned mushroom soup, delicious. A bit of milk. Oh wow. This is what I was actually talking about to you earlier on, about why I typically do custom sandbox. Reason being, for me, I've already got a very decent supply of food already. Lasts easily quite a week, if not longer, that early supply of food. And that's what I mean. Sometimes I just think to myself, it's a little bit too much food that you get early on in the games, and I really think they could do with easing off on it really. Go up here and we'll have a nosy. It's Christmas, folks. Duffel bag early on. Wow, this is good going. This is very good going. Pretty happy with this star. Oh, he didn't equip it. Silly. Where are you, faithful duffel bag? There we are. Let's get all this stuff packed away in his bag. Just takes that burden Fair enough. You're probably wondering why did he pick up the pot. The pots are actually quite early, again, good early on for water collection. And you can actually use them if you get to a point where you've not really got a good selection really of bin bags to build the absolutely necessary water barrels that you need. It's a fantastic tool to have to just collect water around them. You know, it doesn't add much longevity to the game because there isn't really that much in them, but it's just handy to have an option there, at least for rain or to collect rainwater. We're very lucky, very lucky with this setup, really. Just need some soap. Again, soap's quite handy to have to keep your clothes clean now after they added that into the game. Cordless phone, I don't think we're going to need somehow. That's not a bad raid in this house, to be honest with you. Not a bad raid at all. Got some decent sized groups of zombies either side of the house, and I should probably start looking at clearing them either end there. It just gives you a little bit more security in your home, that you're not worried about someone bursting through the window. Blankets, absolutely fantastic. Put up against your windows. They are not going to stop a zombie coming through. Let's get this food in here as well. Get that pot of water full. As I said, you just never know really when that water's going to shut off, and so it's a good idea just to have a decent supply there to begin with. Although you can run around your houses here and things like that, and you can fill up quite quickly. But why waste time on it when you can do it early on in the game and get yourself relatively well set up to actually do a bit of exploration and whatnot. So I'm just getting rid of some of these items, putting them away. I don't actually know if you can actually use this as a regular hammer. I actually haven't checked. Normally hammers are decently bountiful. You're not too skint really. But I think I've taken enough weight off there, and I think I'm going to break out the shovel really. So if you look at the damage it does versus the lead pipe, it's pretty similar, but the shovel's just a good little tool for zombie bashing. So I'm going to nip down here and go see his former neighbours. See why he's loitering about in our spot. So let's try and put a bit of distance here and tackle one. I don't think she actually see me originally. Nicely done. Very nicely done. Nothing of interest to us. No, nothing at all. Quite a few individuals down there by the looks of it. Come to Paddy. Oh, we've got one of them. I suspect there's quite a few of them behind those bushes there, and I've seen two at least. or something. No, there he is. Again, it's just good practice. Just keep one on the go at any one time if you can. He does not want to fall over. Cheeky little man. Yeah, it's just a lot easier just keeping a few of them at distance. You don't want to get to a point where they're on top of you and really pressuring you. Really, it's just unnecessary. Absolutely unnecessary. And again, why I'm using the push here a lot. Just saves your weapons, really. No point of wasting juicy weapons when you can just push them over. Now, what have we got back here? You come see me. Let's have a talk. Someone's left the TV on there. It's what's dragged them actually to this position, probably. It's not a bad idea to get rid of them early on, really. Well, hot diggity dog. An axe for the Axeman. Early days. Nop. And a wood axe. My word. This is a very, very good day. This is a very, very... And a hand axe. Oh my... Well, I know it's only the start of December, but Christmas has definitely come early for Paddy the Pint Man. He's well equipped now. He's ready to fight the world, really. The great thing about the Axeman trait is you just get a better speed out of your axe attacks as well, and it just makes much better experience, much better experience, and a bit more of a zombie killing expert. But I'm going to leave it there this evening, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in. Absolute pleasure. It's Paddy the Pint Man here. If you like what you see, got any hints, tips, any feedback for me, please drop a line in the comments line. But I'll see you again soon. All the best. Take care.